What's the most awkward love confession you've ever witnessed? My best friend Trent paced around the room nervously. What do I do? I think our roommate is in love with me, he muttered. I bursted into laughter. Gemma? I highly doubt it, I said. Our roommates, Gemma and Allie, definitely hadn't shown they were interested in Trent at all from what I'd seen. Gemma was naturally friendly, and Allie was quiet and closed off, but Trent insisted. He pushed a crumpled piece of paper to my chest, laughing. Read it and weep. I scanned through the paper that definitely very clearly stated my dazzling Trent, and I was shocked. He was right. Someone had a huge crush on him. Are you sure it's Gemma? I asked. Trent nodded and explained how there had been obvious signs. She offered me coffee when I came over, he said. That's basically asking me out. I reminded him she offered everyone coffee, but she laughed at all my jokes. Then she asked about my weekend plans. That's basically girl code for checking if I'm single, right? Or she's just asking about your weekend plans like a normal person, I suggested. Then he pulled out actual evidence. A poem on the kitchen counter with romantic lines like brown eyes sweeter than honey, and a laugh that makes Monday mornings bearable. That's totally me, he yelled. I shrugged. I don't see it, I joked. He rolled his eyes. And haven't you noticed? Every time I visit, there's always a gift waiting for me. Yeah, I remembered that. A box of his favorite brand of herbal tea that no one else drank showed up on his table the day we were out, along with a bookmark with a quote from a movie he mentioned liking, and a stress ball that showed up right before his big job interview. Trent had spent weeks building up the courage to talk to Gemma about it, waiting for that one sure sign that Gemma really felt that way about him. Then that sign arrived tonight. Trent had stayed late to help me with a project when we heard singing through the walls. One of the girls had been singing Taylor Swift's You Belong With Me in the most angelic voice. Then we heard it. She actually sang his name, adding Trent right into the lyrics. Trent jumped off the couch like he'd been electrocuted. I told you she likes me, he half whispered. He decided right then he was going to confess his feelings too. The next day, he showed up at our apartment with a bouquet of roses and a poem he wrote on his own. Trent nervously walked over to Gemma, who was chilling on the couch watching Netflix. She looked up at the flowers and smiled. Wow, nice flowers. You look great, she said, calm and friendly like always. Trent cleared his throat. I know about the poems and the gifts and the song. Gemma's smile turned into confusion. Trent? What is this? What's going on? Gemma stared at Trent for a long moment. Wait, are you talking about Allie? Trent shook his head. No, I'm talking about you. The poems, the gifts. Gemma started laughing. Not a cute giggle, but full-on laughing. Trent, I have a boyfriend. He's literally coming over in 20 minutes. She pulled out her phone to show him photos from their weekend trip, and I definitely didn't write any poems. That's why I'm a math major. She asked to see one of the poems and pointed at the corner with the tiny initials written in plain sight. EM. But Allie hates us. She never hangs out with us. Even when I tried talking to her, she just ignored me, he mumbled. Trent, Gemma said, still smiling. Allie's been baking cookies for you at 2 a.m. She's been leaving you gifts. She can't even look at you without turning red. Right on cue, we heard a door creak open. Allie stepped out of her room holding another piece of paper, saw Trent standing there with flowers, and froze completely. The paper fluttered from her hand onto the floor. Everyone stared at the first line that started with my dazzling Trent in bright pink lettering. Wait! Trent yelled. Allie turned bright red and quickly shut the bedroom door. Trent dropped the flowers and knocked on the door gently. Allie? Allie, please come out. Allie opened the door just a crack. Her face was still tomato red. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I didn't mean for it to happen like this. Trent finally understood everything. Allie hadn't been cold or unfriendly. She'd been so overwhelmed by her crush that she literally couldn't function around him. Every time she disappeared, it was because she was too nervous to stay. Wait, please don't close the door. He walked backwards slowly and picked up the bouquet of flowers. These were always meant for you, he said. Allie finally stepped out of her room completely, her eyes filling with tears. She took the flowers and actually smiled at him while he read the poem he'd written for her aloud.